Hello students, today we are going to discuss a very important topic that is called first order reactions. Now in the last class we completed the zero order kinetics. Now in this today's lecture we are going to start first order reactions. It is a very important topic in the objective examination point of view. Okay, like IIT, JEE, NEET examination, even in the board exam also this topic is very important. Now, what is the first order reaction? The reactions in which the rate will be depend on the first power of the concentration. The reactions in which the rate will depend upon the first power of the concentration in the rate expression is known as a first order reaction. Otherwise, the reactions in which the rate is directly proportional to the initial concentration. The reactions in which the rate of a reaction is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactant. Such reactions are called first order reactions. Here there is one example I am taking. A gives B. Here the simple reaction, the stoichiometry will be 1:1 ratio. Okay. Now initial time interval t value 0. So the initial concentration of a reactant I am taking A0, that is the A0, 0 corresponding to time interval t0. Okay, at that particular time interval, what is the concentration of the B? 0. At a time interval t, the concentration of a reactant left will be A0 minus X. That means X moles of reactant will consume from the A0 moles. So X moles of the product will be formed at a time interval t. The concentration of a reactant left at a time interval t is AT, and the concentration of product formed at a time interval t is the BT. What is the A0 or A0? Initial concentration of a reactant when the time t is equal to 0. And what is the AT? Concentration of a reactant at a time interval t. At a time interval t. Okay. Now here what is the definition of a rate of a reaction? Rate of a reaction is nothing but change in concentration of a reactant or product per unit time interval. Okay. Now rate will be equal to minus dA by dt, which is equal to dx by dt. Otherwise plus dB by dt, which is equal to dx by dt. And one more important thing, rate of a reaction R is equal to K into A to the power 1. Here the exponent of the rate expression, that is the 1. That's why it is a first order kinetics. It is a first order kinetics. This is the first equation we have to remember. That is the R is equal to K into A to the power 1, where A is the reactant. Okay, the power 1 corresponding to the order of the reaction. Okay, now here rate R is equal to minus dA by dt, which is equal to plus dB by dt, which is equal to dx by dt, nothing but k times of A0 minus x. From here dx by dt is equal to k times of A0 minus x. So here I am writing dx by A0 minus x equal to k times of the dt. Now what I am doing here, integrating on both sides. Integrating on both sides, that means integral dx by A0 minus x will be equal to integral k times of the dt. Now the limits of the x value from 0 to x and time interval 0 to t. Okay. Now from the left side, if you observe integral dx by x, what is that? Integral dx by x, nothing but ln x. Ln x nothing but the logarithm, that is the natural logarithm to the base e. Okay. Now here ln x, what is the x value here? A0 minus x will be equal to k is a constant and integral dx nothing but the x. Integral dx nothing but the x. So integral dt nothing but the t. And there will be some constant. That constant c is known as a integration constant. The constant c is known as a what? Integration constant. To evaluate the constant c value, put the time interval t0, then x value 0, because initially when the time is 0, only reactant will be present and product will be absent. That's why instead of x value, if I put the x value 0 when the time interval t0, then I will get the integration constant value, that is the c, which is minus log of A0, that is ln A0. By replacing the constant value in the above expression, you will get the minus ln A0 minus x is equal to kt minus ln A0. Okay. If you bring the minus A0 minus x to the right side, okay, and kt to the left hand side, you will get the ln that is the natural logarithm a naught minus x is equal to minus kt plus ln a naught. This is the equation 2 we have to remember. You see in this expression, if you see, this is in the form of y is equal to minus mx plus c. Y is equal to minus mx plus c. If you draw a graph between the y-axis, that is the ln a naught minus x, and the x-axis, that is the time, you will get a straight line with a negative slope, that is the minus k slope, and intercept will be ln a naught. Ln a naught. Okay. Now this natural logarithm will be converted to base 10. So we have to multiply with 2.303. On both sides there is a natural logarithm, so remove the log b, logarithm base e, and convert into base 10 by multiplying with 2.303, and then divided by 2.303, you will get log of a naught minus x will be equal to minus kt divided by 2.303 plus log of a naught. Okay, so this will be the equation number 3 which we have to remember. It is also in the form of same y is equal to minus mx plus c. This is very important. Okay. Now, if you bring the log a naught to the left side, log a minus log b, there is a formula log of a by b. So k is equal to 1 by t ln a naught by a naught minus x. Ln a naught by a naught minus x. This will be the equation number 4. Okay. Ln x nothing but the 2.303 log x. Log x nothing but the base 10. Ln x nothing but the base e. Base e. Are you getting my point? Now k is equal to, if you convert the natural logarithm into base 10, you will get 2.303 by t. So this expression is very important expression. This is the rate constant expression for first order kinetics. Rate constant expression for first order kinetics. That is the k is equal to, once again I am writing here, k is equal to 2.303 by t log of concentration of reactant initial divided by concentration of reactant at a time interval t. At a time interval t, that is a naught minus x. Are you getting my point? This is a very important expression. So this expression we have to remember regarding the problem solving. Okay. Once again I am repeating, rate constant k is equal to 2.303 by t log of a naught by a naught minus x. A naught is the initial concentration of a reactant, and a naught minus x, that is the AT, is the concentration of a reactant at a time interval t. Okay. Now from here, if you see, once again I am writing here, from this expression, equation number 4, I am writing ln a naught by a naught minus x is equal to kt. If you bring the logarithm to the right side, then you will get anti-logarithm, that is the a naught by a naught minus x will be equal to e to the power kt. Okay, a naught minus x cross multiplication, a naught is equal to a naught minus x into e to the power of kt. I want a naught minus x is equal to a naught divided by e to the power of kt, nothing but e to the power minus kt. This is the equation number 6. Okay. Now a naught minus x is the concentration of a reactant at a time interval t. A naught minus x is the concentration of a reactant at a time interval t will be equal to initial concentration of reactant a naught into e to the power minus of kt. Are you getting my point? So this is the relation between the concentration of a reactant at a time interval t to the initial concentration of a reactant. Okay. Now it is the concentration of a reactant. Yes. What is the concentration of reactant after a time interval t? AT. If you see carefully, AT is equal to A0 into e to the power minus kt. Okay. As the time increases, e to the power of minus kt increases. So there is a e to the power of kt increases and there is a negative sign. So the overall value decreases. That's why the concentration of reactant progressively decreases, but the decrease will be in a exponential manner. The decrease will be in a exponential manner. This is one of the important characteristics of the first order kinetics. In the last lecture I told you, in the zero order reaction, the concentration of a reactants progressively decreases linearly, and the concentration of a products increases progressively linearly. But whereas in the first order reaction, the concentration of reactant decreases exponentially. Okay. Now what about the concentration of a product? That will be x. X is equal to, shall I write, a naught minus of a naught into e to the power of minus kt, bring the a naught common, so a naught into 1 minus e to the power minus kt. So x will be the concentration of the product, x will be the concentration of a product. The concentration of product B at a time interval t will increases exponentially. Now reactants concentration decreases in which manner? Exponential manner. That's why the concentration of product also increases in exponential manner. Are you getting my point? Next, one more important one, degree of dissociation. What is the definition of a degree of dissociation? Degree of dissociation nothing but the number of moles dissociated divided by total number of moles initially taken. This is called alpha. Okay, how many moles dissociated? X out of A naught moles, out of A0 moles. So alpha is equal to X by A naught will be the degree of dissociation. So from here X by A naught shall write 1 minus e to the power minus kt. So alpha will be equal to 1 minus e to the power minus kt. Okay, now if you see here alpha value also increases and the maximum value of alpha will be equal to 1 when if the time approaches to infinity. If the time approaches to infinity, okay, then e to the power minus kt value tending to 0, then alpha value approaches to unity. Alpha value approaches to unity. The rate of reaction and time taken for the first order reaction. R is equal to k into a to the power 1. Just now in the first expression I told you R is equal to k into concentration of A, reactant A at a time interval t. Okay. Now instead of concentration of reactant A, shall I write AT is equal to A0 into e to the power minus kt? Yes. So this is the equation number 9. Equation number 9. Okay. Now the lifetime of the first order reaction. Now we know in the zero order kinetics, the zero order reaction completed in 2 half-lives. But whereas in first order reaction, theoretically the lifetime of the first order reaction assumed to be infinite. Assumed to be what? Infinite. That means the first order reaction never go for completion. They are always continue in progress. Okay, the reaction cannot be left over. Okay, here for practical purpose the reaction that is completed 99.9% it is assumed to be completed, but theoretically if you observe these reactions are never go for completion, because what is the concentration of a reactant at a time interval t? At is equal to A0 into e to the power minus kt. Okay, now when the lifetime interval, what happens, the concentration of a reactant should be equal to 0. That means A naught into e to the power minus kt should be equal to 0. Out of these two, A naught is not equal to 0 because the initial concentration is not equal to 0. If it is 0, there will be no reaction. So definitely e to the power of minus kt value should be equal to 0. When the e to the power of minus kt value should be equal to 0, when the time approaches to infinity. When the time approaches to infinity. That means here the first order reactions are never go for completion. Okay. Now the second one more important thing is the half-life period for the first order reaction. What is the definition of a half-life? 50% of reaction completed. The time taken for the 50% of completion of a reaction. This is nothing but T 50%, otherwise T 1 by 2. Otherwise we can also written as a T 0.5. That is the 50% of reaction get completed. The time required is called the half-life period. Now in this 50% of reaction completed, now put the concentration of a reactant will be 50% and the concentration of the product will be 50%. Either you can put AT is equal to A naught by 2 or X value A naught by 2. Then the time interval will be 50, T50. Are you getting my point? That means in this expression, if you observe, if the time interval T 50%, that means whatever the concentration of a reactant will react, that will be 50% of the initial. That means the X value should be equal to A naught by 2. So the remaining value will be A naught minus of A naught by 2, that will be A naught by 2. This is the definition of half-life period. Once again, it is the time required for the 50% of completion of a reaction is called half-life. So K is equal to 1 by T ln A naught by A naught minus X, where here if you put the x value as a naught by 2, then the t becomes t50. Instead of t I am writing the t50, instead of x I am writing the a naught by 2. So in the denominator a naught minus of a naught by 2, so you will get a naught by 2. So in the numerator also a naught is there, a naught gets cancelled, so you will get 1 by 2. That means overall you will get the ln 2 value. The ln 2 value, that is the natural logarithm 2 value, that is 0.693. So finally the k value, which is equal to 0.693 into t50. From here t50 value equal to, shall I write 0.693 by k? Yes, this is a very important expression regarding the half-life for the first order kinetics. Once again I am repeating the equation. What is the half-life expression for the first order kinetics? T50 is equal to 0.693 by k. Once again I am repeating, T50 will be equal to 0.693 by k. This is the equation number 10. This will be the equation number 10. Are you getting my point? Now, the first order reaction half-life period, if you observe, is there any initial concentration of a reactant? No, because in this what happens? A naught by 2, okay, ln. So here a naught gets cancelled out. That means the half-life of a first order reaction will be independent on the initial concentration of the reactant. This is one of the important characteristics of the first order kinetics. Whereas in zero order kinetics, what I explain here, the half-life of a zero order reaction directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactant. But whereas in first order kinetics, the half-life period will be independent on the initial concentration of the reactant. This is one of the important characteristic feature of the first order kinetics. Are you getting my point? Now come to graphical representation of the first order kinetics. Now there are different graphs. So these graphs are very important. These graphs are experimental quantity. With the help of experiment only we can identify the graph, and from the graph we can identify the order of the reaction. The first graph related with between rate of a reaction and concentration. Do you know rate of a reaction R is equal to K into A to the power 1? Yes or no? If you draw a graph between the rate versus concentration, you will get a straight line which is a y is equal to mx form. So straight line passing through origin. What is the slope of a straight line? That is the K, that is the rate constant. This is corresponding to which order reaction? First order reaction. Number 1. Number 2, rate versus time taken. Rate versus time taken. Rate R is equal to K times of A. Instead of concentration of A, that is equal to at a time interval t will be equal to A0 into e to the power minus kt. If you carefully observe this expression, as the time increases, the rate of reaction gradually decreases. The rate of reaction decreases, but the decrease will be in an exponential manner. If initial time taken t value 0, then what about the rate is equal to k times of a naught. So this is the rate of the reaction initial condition. Are you getting my point? Now, are you getting my point? And this line should not be touch the x-axis, because on the x-axis, if you observe, the rate will be become 0. That means the reaction never go stop. That means the reaction will never go stop. That's why the line will be along the continuously along parallel to the x-axis almost. It should not touch the x-axis. Are you getting my point? It may touch the x-axis at the infinity time interval. Okay. Come to the graph number 3. This graph number 3 corresponding to ln AT. Ln AT nothing but the concentration of a reactant at a time interval t. Ln AT, natural logarithm ln, versus the time interval t. Now I already told you there is a relation, that is the y is equal to minus mx plus c. So ln concentration of reactant at a time interval t is equal to minus kt plus ln a naught. Okay. Now here if you observe, this will be a straight line in the form of y is equal to minus mx plus c. On the y-axis ln concentration of reactant A at a time interval t, versus on the x-axis time. Okay. Now if you see initially time 0, so initially time 0 means ln AT value equal to ln A0. So this is the initial concentration. Okay, A naught, that is the natural logarithm A naught. Okay. Now here What is the slope of the straight line here? Minus k. What is the slope of a straight line here? Minus k. So this is corresponding to which order kinetics? First order kinetics. And next one more graph is there. This is the logarithm to the base 10. That means we have to multiply with 2.303. So ln natural logarithm will be converted to the logarithm base 10. So here the slope will be equal to minus k by 2.303. The slope is what? Minus k by 2.303. This is very important. This is very important. The question given like this: when the concentration of reactant logarithm of a concentration of reactant on the y-axis and time taken on the x-axis plotted, there will be a straight line with a negative slope. Then what is the order of the reaction? That is called first order kinetics. And what is the slope of the straight line? If it is natural logarithm, slope will be minus k. If it is a logarithm to the base 10, then the slope will be minus k times k divided by 2.303. Are you getting my point? Next to graph number 5 and 6. Graph number 5, concentration of reactant versus time taken. Just now I told you, as the time starts, the concentration of reactant slowly decreases. The decrease will be in an exponential manner. So initial concentration of reactants will be A0. Okay. Now slowly the concentration of reactants decreases. Okay. The graph will be exponential manner. Okay. Now what about the concentration of the products? When the concentration of reactants exponentially decreases, then the concentration of products exponentially what happens? Increases. Are you getting my point? Linearly decreases, linearly increases, zero order kinetics. Exponentially decreases, exponentially increases, first order kinetics. So with the help of these graphs also, we can identify it is a which order reaction? First order reaction. Now come to the graph number 7 and 8. Graph number 7, that is corresponding to half-life. What is the T50 half-life expression for first order kinetics? That will be equal to 0.693 by k. In this expression, the initial concentration will be absent. That's why the half-life of the first order kinetics will be independent on the initial concentration. That's why there is a straight line parallel to x-axis. If the T50 versus initial concentration, you will have a straight line that is parallel to initial concentration of the reactant, then immediately we can say the order of a reaction is first order. Are you getting my point? Now one more graph is there, alpha. What is the alpha? Degree of dissociation. Alpha is equal to 1 minus e to the power minus kt. As the time increases, the alpha value also increases, and the maximum value of alpha approaches to unity when the time interval t approaches to infinity. Are you getting my point? Now there are some examples regarding the first order kinetics. Just like in the last class, I explained some suitable example for zero order kinetics. Here also first order kinetics example. The first example, growth or decay of bacteria. In the milk, due to increasing of the bacterial growth, milk will be spoiled. Okay, so the growth of bacteria or decay of bacteria follows first order kinetics. Next, all radioactive reactions follows first order kinetics. In nuclear physics or in nuclear chemistry, whatever the nuclear reactions are there, they all follow first order kinetics. Number 3, inversion of a cane sugar. Sucrose undergo hydrolysis in the acidic medium to give glucose and fructose. This is called inversion. The definition of here inversion, that is the inversion in the inversion in the optical rotation. That means if you see sucrose, this is a dextrorotatory compound which is giving the glucose and fructose. Glucose is a dextrorotatory and fructose is a levorotatory, but the levorotatory will be dominating the dextrorotatory. So the overall the compound will become levorotatory when we take the dextrorotatory. So this is called inversion of the cane sugar. Inversion in the cane sugar. Next to number 4 example, acidic hydrolysis of ester. Ester hydrolysis in acidic medium to give carboxylic acid and alcohol. It is example for first order kinetics. And some other examples are nitrogen pentoxide decomposition to give nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. Hydrogen peroxide decomposes to give H2O and O2. Sulfuryl chloride SO2Cl2 to give SO2Cl2. Next benzene diazonium chloride decomposed to give chlorobenzene and dinitrogen gas, and ammonium nitrate decomposes to give nitrogen gas and H2O. So these are the some important example regarding the first order kinetics. Remember, with the help of example also we can identify the order of a reaction. Okay, now here there are some logarithm values. Log 2 value 0.3, log 3 value 0.48, log 5 value 0.6990, or simply we can say 0.7, and log 7 value 0.85. So these are the four important logarithm values we have to remember. And remaining log value, log 4 value we know log 2 square, that is 2 log 2, and log 6 value shall write log 2 into log 3, that is log of 2 into 3. So shall write log 2 plus log 3. Similarly we can calculate. And log 8 shall write log of 2 cube, and log 9 nothing but log of 3 square. Are you getting my point? Now the characteristics of the first order reaction. This is very important. Now the characteristics of the first order kinetics. The first order reaction, time required to complete a definite fraction or a percentage of reaction is independent on the initial concentration. This is very much important. Once again, for the first order reaction, time required for the completion of a definite fraction or a percentage of reaction do not depend upon the initial concentration of the reaction. That means in a first order reaction, equal fraction or percentage will react in a equal time interval. Okay, let's suppose here we are taking initially 100 moles of the reactant. 100 moles of reactant, let's suppose moles per liter. 10% of reaction is completed in that time interval of 10 minutes. Let's suppose. That means 100%, 100 molar, what is the 10%? 10 molar. So 10 molar will be completely consumed and the remaining will be 90 molar. Okay. From the 90 molar, again if you see 10% of reaction get completed. So 90%, 10% of the 90 will be 9. That means out of the 9 will be completely reacted and the left will be 81. And from again if you see from 81, what is the 10% here? 8.1. So 81 minus 8.1, the remaining concentration of the reactant will be 72.9. From the 72.9, again the 10% will be completed, that will be 7.29 completed, and the left will be 65.51, 65.61. Now in each fraction if you see 10% completed and the time interval is also equal time, that will be 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Are you getting my point? Once again I am repeating this sentence. This is very important. In a first order reaction, equal fraction or percentage will completed in the equal time interval. Okay. Now here the second point, the concentration of a reactant left in the after equal time interval will be in a geometrical progression. In a which progression? Geometrical progression, that will be the GP. What is the time interval T0? What is the concentration of reactant? A0. At a time interval T, A0 into e to the power minus kt. At a time interval T will be 2 times of the T, so A0 into e to the power of minus 2 kt. At a time interval T is equal to 3T, A0 into e to the power of minus 3 kt. Now if you observe in a geometrical progression, there will be a common ratio. There will be a common ratio. If you see, this is the equation 2, this will be equation 1, 2 divided by 1, otherwise 3 divided by 2, otherwise 4 divided by 3, you will get a common ratio which is e to the power minus kt, which is e to the power minus of kt. Okay, so this is a one of the important character. Whereas in the zero order kinetics, we explain the difference between the concentration of the reactants left after a equal time interval will be in the arithmetic progression, where in zero order kinetics, whereas in first order kinetics they will be present in the geometric progression. Are you getting my point? Now in a first order reaction, let's suppose small example I am giving here. In a first order reaction, the initial concentration of reactant C0 at a time interval, okay, C0 initially. Now at a time interval T is 3 by 4 C0. Then find the concentration of reaction at a time interval T is equal to 2T and T is equal to 3T. How to solve this problem? That means initially time taken t0, the concentration of reactant C0. When the time interval t, that is t is equal to t, the concentration is given 3 by 4 times of the C0. Now when the concentration will be 2t, when the time interval will be 2t, then what about the concentration of reactant? That will be in the Gp. Okay, that means 3 by 4 whole square into C0. Otherwise, next one more time interval, if you see t is equal to 3t, you will get again 3 by 4 whole cube into C0, because the common ratio, if you observe here 3 by 4 common ratio, here also 3 by 4 common ratio, here also 3 by 4 common ratio. This is one of the important characteristics of the first order kinetics. Once again, the concentration left in the equal time interval will be in the Gp progression. Are you getting my point? Now, in a first order reaction, the half-life is independent on the initial concentration of the reactant. Just now I told you here. T50 will be equal to 0.693 by K. And next one more, for a first order reaction, for a first order reaction, the rate constant unit will be what? Time inverse. Rate constant unit will be what? Time inverse. With the help of rate constant unit, we can identify the order of the reaction like second inverse, minute inverse, hour inverse, etc. These are the time inverse per time. This is the unit for rate constant of first order kinetics. Rate changes with concentration as well as time will decreases how? Exponentially. This is very important. For a first order reaction, time required for the completion of 99.9% of the reaction will be equal to 10 times of the half-life period. We can prove this also. So T 99.9% completion of a reaction will be equal to the 10 times of the T50. That means ये फर्स्ट ऑर्डर रिएक्शन में जो 99.9% कंप्लीट होने का जो टाइम रिक्वायरमेंट है वो 10 टाइम्स ऑफ द हाफ लाइफ पीरियड का इक्वलेंट होगा. इसको हम प्रूव भी कर सकते. ठीक है. नाउ हियर दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. T99.9 विल बी इक्वल टू 10 टाइम्स ऑफ व्हाट? T50. वी कैन प्रूव दिस. ओके. नाउ let's suppose the initial concentration of a reactant will be A0. What is the A0 here? Initial concentration. Okay, let's suppose 50%, matlab means T50, that means 50% reaction get completed. Out of the A0, 50% will be A0 by 2 get completed and the left will be A0 by 2. And the next half life, one more 50% of A0 by 2, that will be A0 by 4. Are you getting my point? 50% decomposes. This is the second half life. From the A0 by 4, if another 50% will be decomposes, then how much will be present? A0 by 4 by 2, A0 by 8. And similarly, next for 50% decomposition, A0 by 16. And next for 50% decomposition, A0 by 32. And next to A0 by 64. And next to A0 by 128 and so on. Are you getting my point? Now if you observe, what is the AT concentration of a reactant at a time interval t, and A0, it is the initial concentration of a reactant, is equal to 1 by 2 to the power n. This is a very important expression, the relation between the concentration of a reactant at a time interval t to that of the initial concentration A0, that is equal to AT will be equal to A0 into 1 by 2 to the power n. What is the A0? Initial concentration of a reactant at a time interval t0. What is the AT? Concentration of a reactant at a time interval t. Now what is the n? Number of half-lives. Now if you see here, how many half-lives here? First half-life, this is the second half-life, this will be third half-life, this will be fourth half-life, this will be fifth half-life and so on. What is the n integer? Number of half-lives. How to find the number of half-lives? Total time divided by half-life. So n value equal to total time divided by T50. Are you getting my point? From here, total time will be equal to number of half-lives into half-life time. Number of half-lives into half-life time. Are you getting my point? This is very important. Now you see, T1 by 2 is called 50% completed time required. It is also represented as a T1 by 2. Okay. Now here, come to the first 50% completed. Next from the 50%, again the 50% completed. In the 50%, what is the 50%? That is will be the 25. That means total completed 50 plus 25, that will be 75% completed. It is called T 3/4. That is the time taken for the 3/4 of the reaction get completed. That is the 75% completed. Next to come to third half-life. In the first half-life 50% of 100. In the second half-life 50% of the 50, that is the 25. In the third half-life 50% of the 25, that is the 12.5. Total how much get completed? 87.5% get completed, which is known as a 7/8 of the reaction get completed. Are you getting my point? Now come to next here. Fourth half-life. That means in the first half-life 50% completed. Out of the 50%, next to 50%, 25% get completed. Out of the 25, next to 50% will be 12.5 gets completed. Out of the 12.5, next to fourth half-life will be 6.25% get completed. Total 93.75, which is indirectly 15/16. 15/16. Are you getting my point? So here, the first to T50, okay, the second to T50 plus 25, that will be T75, and the third one will be the T87.5, and fourth one is the T93.75, will be in the ratio of T50, 2 times of the T50, 3 times of the 350, and 4 times of the 350. Nothing but they are in the ratio of 1:2:3:4. This is very important. So this is only for first order kinetics. This will be only for whom? Only for first order kinetics. What is the relation between the T50, T75, T87.5, T93.75%? Will be in the ratio of 1:2:3:4. Are you getting my point? If I know the 50% completion of reaction time taken, shall I find the 75% of completion? Yes, that will be double. Shall I find the time taken for the completion of 87.5? That will be triple. Shall I find the time taken for the completion of 93.75%? That will be the 4 times of the T50. This is a very important relation. Okay. Now, here one more relation regarding the first order kinetics. So, from 0 to 90%, let's suppose reaction completed how much? 90% completed. The 90% completed time taken will be how much? T90, which is equal to 3.3 times of the T50. That means 90% completion of a first order time taken will be equal to 10/3 times of the T50. We can prove this also. Okay, 10/3 nothing but what? 3.33. From 0 to 99%, let's suppose 99% completion of a first order kinetics will require 6.6 times of the T50, and 99.9% completion of a first order kinetics will require the 9.9 times of or 10 times of the T50. So this is one of the characteristic point. Just now I told you characteristics point. For a first order kinetics, the time required for the completion of a 99.9% of a first order reaction will be equal to 10 times of the half-life period. Okay. And next one more, 99.99% completion of a first order kinetics will take the 13.2 times of the T50. Now here if you see the common factor, that will be 3.3 will be the common factor. Okay. Now here if you see the ratio, T90, T99, T99.9 and T99.99, you will have a ratio 1:2:3:4. If you know the 90% completion of a first order reaction time taken, can I find the 99%? Yes, that will be exactly double. Shall I find the time taken to complete the 99.9% if I know the time taken for the 90% completion? Yes, that will be the 3 times of the 90% completion. Shall I find the time required for the completion of 99.99% of a first order reaction if I know the 90% completion of reaction? Yes, which will be equal to 4 times of the 90% of the completion of the reaction. Are you getting my point? Now here, for a first order reaction, time taken for X% reacted. How much of reactant will reacted? X percentage. So Tx percent will be equal to 2.303 by K. Whenever percentage is given, we have to take the initial concentration of a reactant, that will be equal to 100. And A naught minus X nothing but the X percentage reacted. So in the numerator 100, in the denominator 100 minus X. So you will get the percentage of X completed, time taken for the percentage of X completed. Okay. Now in case of fraction, that means less than 1. So Tf, that is a fraction, that is 1 by 2, 2 by 3, 7 by 8, etc. T fraction, time taken for the completion of a fraction of a reactant, 2.303 by T K log of fraction means we have to take the maximum value 1 minus F. If in the question percentage is given, then you can take 100 by 100 minus X. In the question, if the fraction is given, 1 by 1 minus F. Okay. Now there are some questions. Question number 53. Show that the first order reaction time taken for the completion of a 99.9% of a first order reaction will be equal to 10 times of the half life. Are you getting my point? This is very important. Now first of all, how much of time taken we have to calculate? 99.9%. Now here I am writing 99.9% completion of reaction, and I am taking 50% completion of reaction. Whenever percentage is given, take the A naught value, initial value 100, and X value how much completed? 99.9 completed, and the remaining concentration will be 100 minus 99.9, that will be equal to 0.1. Here initial concentration A naught value taken 100 and X value taken 50%, reaction completed, and the left concentration of a reactant will be 100 minus 50, that will be equal to 50. Now what is the rate constant for first order kinetics? K will be equal to 2.303 by T log of A naught upon A naught minus X. Are you getting my point? From here I have to find the time taken. So 2.303 on the left hand side, time taken for completion of 99.9% into log of, what is the A naught value? 100. What is the A naught minus X value? That will be 0.1. On the right hand side, 2.303 divided by time taken 50%, so T50 log of 100 by 100 minus 50, that will be equal to 50. Are you getting my point? Now here 2.303 on the both side gets cancelled. So here 1 by T 99.9%. Okay. Now here you will get log 1000 on the left hand side. On the right hand side 1 by T 50%, and you will get the log 2. You will get the log 2. Are you getting my point? Now here log 1000 nothing but 3, okay, by T 99.9% will be equal to 1 by T 50%. What is the log 2 value? 0.3010. Okay. Now if you see log T 99.9% divided by T 50% will be equal to 3 by, roughly I am taking 0.3, which is nothing but the 10. That means T 99.99%, time taken for the completion of a 99.99%, 99.9% will be equal to how many times of the half-life? 10 times of the half-life. Are you getting my point? So this is one of the important characteristic regarding the first order kinetics. Okay. Now in the first order kinetics there are some important relation between the time. So here T75 2 times of the T50, just now I told you. T87.5 3 times of the 350, 3 times of the T50, and T90 just wait, T93.75 4 times of the T50. And next one more relation I explained, T90, T99, T99.9 and T99.99. will be in the ratio of 1:2:3:4. Are you getting my point? And with respect to T50 I am writing here. Okay, now here the first one will be the T25% will be equal to 0.1415 into T50%. Okay, if you do not know the relation, no need to worry. Only with the help of in the previous question just now I derived the relation between T99 and T50. In the similar manner you can derive the relation between T25 to T50, T75 to T25, T87.5, T50. You can derive any relation. Are you getting my point? Now one more question here. In a first order reaction, the initial concentration of reactant will be 8 mole, which changes to 2 mole in 40 minutes. Calculate the rate constant, half-life and concentration of reactant after 60 minutes. After 60 minutes. Now here, what is the initial concentration of a reactant given? A0 is given 8 molar. Okay, and the question is asking at concentration 2 molar. When the concentration 2 molar, time interval how much? 40 minutes. Find the rate constant. What is the rate constant expression? K is equal to 2.303 by T log of concentration of reactant initially A0 divided by concentration of reactant at a time interval T. So 2.303 by time is given 40 minutes, log of initial concentration 8 molar, final concentration will be 2 molar. Are you getting my point? Now the K value equal to 2.303 divided by 40, log 4 nothing but 2 log 2, 2 log 2 nothing but 2 into log 2 nothing but 0.3010. After simplification you will get 0.03465 per minute. This is the first question. Okay, now the next question will be the half-life. What is the half-life formula? T50 is equal to 0.693 whole divided by K. So this is a very important expression to calculate the half-life period. 0.693 whole divided by, what is the K value here? K value 0.03465. Okay, so you will get the answer 20 minutes. You will get the T50 20 minutes. And one more question is there. Calculate the concentration of reactant after 60 minutes. After 60 minutes. Now here K value, we know the K value from the above expression. So by replacing the K value, and we know the concentration of reactant, initial concentration we know, and after a certain time interval T also we know. So from here we can find the time taken. Okay, now what is the K value here given? 0.03465. okay, is equal to 2.303 divided by T. We have to find out log of initial concentration will be 8 molar and concentration of a reactant at a time interval. At a time interval, how much time interval? After 60 minutes. Yes, so time is given here. So here after 60 minutes we have to calculate the concentration of reactant at a time interval T. Are you getting my point? After simplification this, you will get 3 into 0.3010 equal to log of 8 upon concentration of reactant at a time interval T. So this will be, shall I write log 2 here? 3 into log 2 will be equal to log of 8 by concentration of reactant at a time interval T. After solving this, you will get the concentration of reactant at a time interval T, that is equal to 1 molar. That will be equal to 1 molar. Okay. Now without using this expression, that means without using this formula, we can also solve this numerical like this. There is an alternative method I am explaining. Now first of all, what is the initial concentration of the reactant given here? 8 molar. Now it is become to 2 molar in how many minutes? 40 minutes. Let's suppose initially I am taking 8 molar. 8 molar to reduce to 50%, 4 molar. First half-life. From the 4 molar it is reduced to again 50%, that will be the 2 molar. How much of time here consuming here? Total 40 minutes. Let's suppose I am taking here 20 minutes first half life and second half life 20 minutes. Are you getting my point? That means in the two half lives, that means 8 molar become 2 molar. From here we can find the T50, which is a 20 minutes. Are you getting my point? So the T50 here, if you observe, 20 minutes. Okay. Now once getting the T50, can I find the K value? Yes, K is equal to what? 0.693 by T50. So 0.693 by T50, nothing but the 20 minutes. After simplification of this, you will get 0.03465 per minute. Are you getting my point? Next, one more question is there. What is the concentration of reactant after 60 minutes? After 60 minutes. That means if you see 8 molar become 50% 4 molar, 1 half life. From the 4 molar 50%, that will be 2 molar to become second half life. From the 2 molar to become 50%, that is 1 molar, that means the third half life. So in each half life, that will be 20 minutes will be the time taken. So there are total how many half lives? 3 half lives. So total time taken will be 3 times of the half life, that will be the 60 minutes. So after 60 minutes, what will be the concentration of the reactant left to? 1 molar. So already you have the answer here, 1 molar. Already you have the answer 1 molar. Okay. Now the rate constant for the reaction A gives product is 6.93 into 10 raised to minus 3. Here what is the rate constant K value given? 6.93 into 10 raised to minus 3 per minute. From this rate constant units, we can conclude it is a first order kinetics. It is a first order kinetics. Yes or no? After getting the first order kinetics, then it is easy to find the time period. So what is the K expression? Rate constant 2.303 by T log of A naught by A naught minus X. Yes or no? Now in the question T 1 by 3, that means 1 by 3 fraction. It will be given in the terms of fraction. Just now I told you to find the time taken for the fraction, that will be equal to 2.303 by K log of 1 upon 1 minus F. Yes or no? This is the direct formula when in the given question fraction is given. Okay. Now first one, what is the K value given here? K value given 6.93. So first question T 1 by 3, that is nothing but 2.303 by, what is the K value here? 6.93 into 10 raised to minus 3 log of 1 upon 1 minus 1 by 3. 1 upon 1 minus 1 by 3. In the denominator you will get the 2 by 3. 2 by 3 will goes to numerator. You will get the 3 by 2. So finally you will get the answer 59.81 minutes. Okay. Now the second one T1 by 2. T1 by 2 nothing but again 2.303 by 6.93 into 10 raised to minus 3 log of 1 by 1 by 2. So you will get in the denominator 2. 1 by 2, that will be goes to numerator. You will get the log 2 value. After simplification you will get 99.69 minutes. This is the half life period, 50%. And one more question is there. T 2 by 3, 2/3 of reaction get completed, which is equal to 2.303 whole divided by 6.93 into 10 raised to minus 3 log of 1 by 1 minus 2 by 3. 1 minus 2 by 3 will be 1 by 3. So again you will get the log 3, and after that simplification you will get 159.5 minutes. Are you getting my point? Now question number 56. In a first order reaction, time taken for completion of 40% reaction will be 10 minutes. Then calculate the time taken for the 80% completion of the reaction. Just now in the previous case I explained the 99.9% 50% relation. Similarly here also. Now here 40% completion and 80% completion. Okay. Now directly I am writing T 40% completion, K is equal to 2.303 by T 40%. Okay, log of 100 by 100 minus 40. Okay, on the right hand side K will be equal to 2.303 by T 80% into log of 100 by 100 minus 80. Yes or no? Now LHS will be same, so RHS must be same. So 2.303 by T 40% log of 100 by 60. On the right hand side 2.303 by T 80% into logarithm of 100 by 20. Are you getting my point? Here 5 3s are 2 3s are 2 5s are. Here also 2 1s are 2 5s are. So finally 2.303 on the both side gets cancelled out. Okay. So here what will be the T40? That will be given 10 minutes. So 1 by 10 minutes into log of 5 by 3 will be equal to 1 by T 80% into log of 5. We know log of A by B, log A minus log B. Okay. Now finally I have to find the T 80%, that is equal to log 5 into 10 divided by log of 5 by 3, that is log 5 minus log 3. So log 5 value 0.7 in the denominator, log 5 0.7, log 3 0.48. After simplification you will get the answer approximately 32 minutes, approximately exactly 31.8 minutes, and roughly I am writing 32 minutes. Okay. Now the next question, that is the 57 question. In this 57 question, for a first order reaction, the initial concentration of reactant is 16 molar. Okay, T50 of the reaction is given to you 13.86. Then find the initial rate of the reaction and rate it after 27.72 mole per 27.72 into 10 raised to minus 3 minutes. Okay. Now first of all, what is the information given here? Initial concentration, that will be A0. How much is given? 16 molar. Okay. Now T50 given here. How much is given here? T50 13.86 into 10 to the power minus 3 minutes given. And it is which order kinetics? First order kinetics. Are you getting my point? From the first order kinetics, can I find the K rate constant with the help of half-life? Yes, 0.693 by T50. 0.693 divided by, what is the T50? 13.86 into 10 raised to minus 3. Okay, that will be equal to 50 per minute. K value is 50 per minute. Now the first question, initial rate of the reaction. Initial rate of a reaction, that means R is equal to K into concentration of A. Initial concentration, that will be time interval T0. So what is the K value? 50 per minute. What is the initial concentration is given in the question? 16 molar. So you will get the 800 molar per minute, moles per liter per minute. And the next question, initial rate, next question, rate after 27.72 into 10 to the power minus 3 minutes. Now remember, here also we have to calculate the concentration of reactant at that time interval. So K is equal to 2.303 by T log of concentration of reactant initially A0 and at a time interval 80. So we have to calculate the 80 time interval, because we know the K value, we know the T value. Otherwise simple technique is there. What is the initial concentration is given? 16 molar. What is the half-life is given here? That will be equal to 13.86 into 10 raised to minus 3 minutes. This is the T50. That is 50% of reaction get completed, time taken. So out of the 16 molar, 50% will be the 8 molar. Now if you observe, from 8 molar, if one more 50% of reaction, let's suppose, get consumed, so further time will be again 13.86 into 10 raised to minus 3 minutes. Okay, that means again total how many half lives here? 2 half lives. So total time interval will be equal to 13.86 into 10 raised to minus 3 plus 13.86 into 10 raised to minus 3, 27.72 into 10 raised to minus 3 minutes. That means what is the concentration of reactant after 27.72 into 10 raised to minus 3 minutes? 4 molar. So after getting the concentration of a reactant, we can directly find the rate of a reaction at 27.72 into 10 raised to minus 3 minutes, which is equal to, what is the K value? 50. What is the concentration of reactant at a time interval T? That will be the 4 molar. Okay, 4 molar. Now here that will be equal to 200 moles per liter per minute. Now if you see, what is the initial rate of a reaction? 800 molar per minute. Here 200 molar per minute. That means rate of reaction decreases with time. Rate of reaction, what happens? Decreases with time.